Right, we are in Malachi 3:10. It says, "Bring ye all the tithe into the storehouse, that there might be meat in my house." Now there's two things here. Jesus says, or God says, bring the tithe into the storehouse for a purpose. What is the purpose? Meat in the house. Now remember the context. The context here was the people, let me just get the place here, the fatherless, the widows, the hireling, the stranger, those that struggled. They could partake of the tithe, and there was nothing for them to partake in. So those who couldn't work up enough were there by their own works and their own efforts could not have any more, for there was not provision for those who could not by works bring forth prosperity to their own life. And then he said the tithe had to be given to them so that they that cannot by their own works have prosperity might have prosperity. And that is very significant. There's a sign in that. It speaks of man. It speaks of us. It says here, bring ye all the tithe. This word ye is a very important word. We've looked at it before, and now we're going to look at it in depth. It's who's this guy? You know, I always forget who he is. It's Brown's Driver and Briggs, Hebrew definitions. BDB there. Brown's Driver and Briggs. So Brown's Driver and Briggs, their dictionary says that the Aleph Tav, which is the Alpha and the Omega, which is in Greek Alpha Omega, in Hebrew Aleph Tav, first and last letter of the Hebrew alphabet, is a sign of the definite direct object, not translated in English, but generally preceding and indicating the accusative or that which it talks about or what it is. So it says bring. That word ye there is not supposed to be translated. It should just be bring all the tithes. Bring all the tithes into the storehouse. Now, who is this tithe? The Alpha and Omega is all the tithe. So bring the Alpha and the Omega, which points to and indicates this, which is actually this. So bring, this is the way I say this to make it clear to you, bring the Aleph Tav, or the Alpha Omega, which is the tithe, into the storehouse, that there might be meat in my house. And prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, there shall not be room enough to receive it. Now, bring Jesus Christ, the Aleph Tav. Now you might say, Bertie, but there the word is translated. Let me just prove to you that this word, and what I'm using here is the King James Concordance. This concordance is a very nice concordance. It tells you where this specific Hebrew word is translated and what English word it was translated into. It's got 111 occurrences in the Bible. It's 46 times translated as what, 25 times as even, 19 times as whom, 10 whose, whosoever 3 times, who twice, every once, on, all these that I'm reading now is just one, same, themselves, was even translated as wept, yourselves, as well. So we can clearly see that translators really struggle to translate this word. But the revelation of this word is contained in Jesus Christ saying, I am the Alpha and the Omega. And when he was talking to John on the Isle of Patmos, John was a Hebrew-speaking man. So he had to say, I am the Aleph and the Tav. So here you can see, bring the Aleph and the Tav, bring the Alpha and the Omega, which points to and indicates this, which indicates, bring Jesus Christ, which indicates the tithe into the storehouse, that there might be meat in my house. And prove me now herewith, says the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you. That word you there, 853 again. There is the meaning. Aleph Tav. If I will not open Jesus Christ, which is the windows of heaven, and pour out a blessing, pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it, that there shall not be enough. So it is just too much. You will just pour out too much through Jesus Christ. Now listen to this. And I will rebuke the devourer for your sake, and he shall not destroy. There it is again. Aleph Tav, Jesus Christ, the fruit of your ground. So, the fruit of us believing, the fruit of Jesus Christ in our lives cannot be destroyed by the enemy. It's impossible, because God will rebuke the devourer, which I believe is the law system, and we will have a study as well on Romans 7, in Bible studies. In Romans 7, He will rebuke that for our sakes, and He will, and He shall not be able, the enemy shall not be able to destroy Aleph Tav, the fruit of our ground. So, here it is again, from the beginning. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse. Bring Jesus Christ into the storehouse, that there might be meat in my house. In the next clip we're going to talk about meat. In my house, and prove me herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven, and pour out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. Amen. If I will not open Jesus, which is the windows of heaven. Jesus was open for us. Now, in the next clip, we're going to get a little bit deeper into Malachi 3, verse 10, and into the whole thing about meat and what we have to eat that we started with and ended off in the next clip.